Hello everybody and welcome to a new game of Civ 3 Multiplayer Arena Noob Edition. So I will be your host. My name is Suede and I am just spectating this game. I am not actually playing in this game. This is going to be a 4v3 game of the QC mod of Civilization 3. So let's get right into it. So first we're going to check out the teams, and these teams should be pretty interesting based on the spawn locations. So we have 2, 5, 6, meaning Xeon, Fluffy, and Rookie are together against H2 Aqua, DRC Games a lot, Milan, and Icarus Rift. So as you'll see, there's kind of a triangle formation up here, uniting these players, and then the other ones are in an arc around this bay. So, it's appropriate because they've named themselves Team Water, so it's appropriate that they all spawned around the same bay. And then these guys will be, you know what? I mean, it's a slight modification of Team Spinner from last game, but again, it is in the triangle formation. So we're going to call them Team Spinner again, since Rookie really identifies with that label a lot. Even though technically in last game, this player H2 Aqua was on Team Spinner, he's not anymore, but you still got the duo of Fluffy plus Rookie. So we'll see what they'll be able to do with that. So for this map, I actually forgot to increase my commerce, so we're going to have really limited ability to check out what's going on in the cities. We're just going to do these techs real quick. I'm wondering if there's some way to increase my commercial potential. Not really. I guess we're just stuck with what we have. Yeah, I guess we'll do, we could go for libraries, but that would only increase tech. We could go for markets. That would take a while. I think we're better off just taking the money we have. We get what? 14 gold minus 1. Okay. We get 13 gold per turn. So that will be our very, very low spying budget. And that's only after we research ironworking and the wheel, which we do need for to see the resources on the map. So I made this map myself, and I'm quite proud of it. So notice everybody spawns very close together, which I like to do, just so there's a lot of action. Often the new players are kind of hesitant, kind of turtle a bit, but when you put them right jammed next to each other, you see a lot more action going on. So I bet the teams will be very happy, or at least Team Spinner will be very happy that everybody spawned very close together, and they can all achieve contact quite quickly. And I don't really think there should be any barrier between Team Bay and Team Water achieving contact. So you have a 2-worker opening coming out here from Milan. It might even be a one-shop. Not sure. You got... Okay, he irrigated the other side. He didn't road it, but that's not really essential because, normally you want the road. I give the advice to players, you want to irrigate a lot. And some people take that too literally. They don't build any roads. You got to build the roads too, but in this case, the road goes to the other side of the river, so it doesn't actually give any mobility. So, yeah, you lose the commerce, but whatever. Growth is more important at the start. Got a bit of a barbecue going on here. For DRC Games a lot. He might have been in a previous game as Windsor Man. You might recognize him. And, H2 Aqua's growing quite fast. He's got a lot of bonus food here. 7 food, 6 food. Yeah, he could grow 1 per turn here without even building a granary. So this is good land for him. In QC, the jungle is obviously a bad place to start, but in QC, the banana is really, really buffed. So it's a very strong, can actually be strong in some certain circumstances. When we were making the scenario, the philosophy was we like the idea that different land types are different and have different pros and cons, but we don't like the idea that one is inherently better than the other. And grassland starts are still the best, but there are advantages to other starts, like this powerhouse of a tropical fruit. I found this start to be too good, so I actually nerfed it a bit by putting some mountains in here. So that will kind of block mobility off if they want to go expand east. I didn't want them getting too much into the hair of the player down here or up here. But they're all on the same team, so it doesn't matter too much. So you got the Dutch, sending a warrior out this way. That's good to do some scouting at the beginning. And one to the south, too. Great. He's at 4 population, so I assume he either went for a barracks or a granary. Both excellent choices at the start. Oh, and he actually has a lot of food, too, with all this irrigation and the tropical fruit. I'm going to remind Windsor Man to build some roads. Sorry, DRC games a lot. That's what we have the new games for. Just like we want to give the new players a chance to like kind of flex their muscles in an environment where they can actually take some risks and not be punished too hard. No, there's no road here. I guess maybe he had like a particular timing in mind. Maybe if you like needed to get that irrigation done as soon as possible to get the 1 per turn growth. Like if it costs to do a population to build this road, then it's not worth it. But in that case, why do you even build the irrigation here? Why not just build the road first and then you can road here and get back on without missing a beat? Ooh, yeah, lots of barbecues coming. Okay. I'm not seeing any second cities out, which is... Yeah, is that 3 players? No, 4 players total, I think, since the game started. We'll see what Fluffy does. I don't think he watches my YouTube channel. I think he just showed up in the single player Discord and accepted an invite. So he plays a bit idiosyncratically compared to the metagame style of QC, but he had some success last game, so we'll see what he'll be able to do now. Last game, he actually took a city off Xeon. Oops, this is Xeon. Where's Fluffy? Fluffy's here. Okay. So one thing I'll advise against, if anyone's looking to pick up some QC, is the first thing he did with his worker was he roaded this tile, which you shouldn't do. So what that does is it takes 3 worker moves, 1 to get on the tile, and then 2 to do the road. Worker moves are sped up in QC, but that's still... So 3 moves is a lot. And it gives you... Maybe it gives you 1 commerce. Like if you need the happiness, it gives you 1 commerce. If you don't need the happiness, it doesn't give you 1 commerce because the luxury does nothing. Okay, he's guarding his worker this time. That's good. And I mean, he should have time to build at least 2 warriors before the game starts. Or sorry, not before the game starts. Before the German warrior can reach him. Ooh. I'll give him some advice. Try using rally point. So this is another advantage to pre-roading. I talk a lot about pre-roading in my videos. Okay. Oh my god, dude. Oh, that's rough. So China actually had to declare war there. So I don't know. He really dropped the ball. So because it should be easier to move your warrior because China has to declare war first, and now he actually let him get away with the workers too. That's brutal. So this is one of the advantages to pre-roading, is what I'm saying. I talk a lot about pre-roading. What that means is, for example, it's hard to point to an example. Wait, did he move his settler here and then back down? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thought, oh, the warrior's blocking me, and then he's like, oh, I killed the warrior. I'm good. Oh, nice. He's got a barracks out. Sorry. So if pre-roading means if you road here and then road here, and then you build a settler in Moscow, and then you walk, plant. So basically it means you build a road under the place where your future city is going to be. And the advantage to that is you get your city out a turn faster because the settler can follow the road. The disadvantage is obviously when you plant the city, the road disappears. So the road is useful for exactly one thing, which is moving your settler onto that road. Now, if he had this pre-roaded, he could have planted a turn earlier and then built a warrior and then reinforced with that warrior. reinforced with a warrior from Berlin. And so if he did the moves there right, even if the Chinese won combat, he's still fine. So that's another advantage to pre-roading, that not only do you get the bonus growth by planting your city a turn early, you get bonus food too, or you get bonus production too. And you don't have that awkward turn where your settler is just standing there and can be ambushed by enemies. So I'm at 14. I don't need the... I could do wealth, I guess. That would give me 1 extra gold per turn. Or is there anything... I mean, Colossus would take a long time. Okay. Yeah, I had a shield from... It'd be good, but I'll go with the wealth. Yeah, like I disbanded my starting settler, so that's why I couldn't switch to Colossus right immediately. And yeah, if I build the Colossus, it could technically impact the game in some capacity, because that means if one of these players wanted to build Colossus, I mean, let's say the Russians wanted an early Golden Age, then they wouldn't have that option for the Expansionist Wonder. Colossus isn't normally very good, but yeah. So he's really getting blocked here. I think his growth is slowed down too because he doesn't have access to the banana. Let's do some espionage, maybe. Not with this budget. Could maybe get one on Milan if he's since he's a little closer. No, only marginally less expensive. So yeah, Aqua kind of hamstrung himself there with that opening. I'm still like a little tilted that he didn't manage to reinforce the settler. He built the warrior, so it's basically he has to move his warrior to this tile before Rookie can attack. But Rookie, like, he has to like do the prompt where it's like, do you want to declare war on the Germans? And that takes some time. So based on that, the Germans can get there sooner. And at least have the shot at defending the settler. But he missed that. So that's definitely very favorable for Team Spinner, I'd say. Oh my god, that's brutal. I think he attacked with an archer and then... Yeah, okay, there you go. Hopefully he'll move into settler from here. He's got good land, so... I wouldn't be too cut up about it. Okay. So this is a bad plant, and I'll tell you guys why. So, first of all, it's 3 tiles away from your capital. That's already pretty questionable on its own. Normally you want your cities 2 tiles away, so you can do the pre-roading thing I mentioned, which means getting your city out faster. If it's out faster, you get more production, you get more growth. It just kind of like snowballs the game a little bit faster. The second reason is 3 tiles away, and this is being blocked by a jungle tile and some mountain tiles. If he wants to road, he has to go all the way around, or he has to cut the jungle, road across the jungle, and then road the mountain. Wait, what the fuck? We'll see about that. Yeah, nobody's lost any cities. One warrior down. Mm-hmm. That's okay. He's got the military now, so he needs to switch into uh, settlers. He needs to be building settler. Anyway, I mean, why would you walk over here to road and irrigate this bonus grassland when there's this bonus grassland right here? It's the same tile. It's just closer, and it gives you a road that's actually useful for something other than the commerce. Anyway. Yeah, if I was him, I mean, lots of good second city options. You got here. If you chopped, you could do here, maybe here. Here, like, oh, of course, this is also across the river too. So even if you invest all those amazing number of worker moves into roading to Rotterdam, you still lose the movement when you're transferring troops between the two cities, troops or settlers or workers. I prefer to keep on the same side of the river. So if you really want to go to the other side of the river, you could do here. You could do here, I guess. Here, maybe even. Lots of good options. I mean, this would be a good city in the long run. Oh, it's got the whales too. So if Fluffy doesn't put too much pressure on him, I think he'll be set up pretty well later on. Oh, wow. So Spain could have like attacked that warrior and helped out his ally, but he didn't. So now it's going to be awkward. He should go for city here, I guess. I mean, if we're following by his logic, then he's got two warriors up here, so here would be fine, or maybe here or on one of the hills or something. He suicided his worker. We're going to watch this in very slow motion next turn. Oof. Okay, we're good. Cost him a worker. But he got two settlers, which is, yeah, he's going to be in the fast track to expansion. Oh, it looks like Milan was kind of a dick and popped a hut next to I don't know. Like, as long as you warn your teammate, you can pop huts next to them. Windsor Man's going for a looser city placement this game. But, yeah, he's got the food. I know what he's saying. Is he talking to me? I guess we'll see. Anyway, with the two barbecues that happened to Rookie, barbecue meaning civil disorder, he's actually not ahead of the Dutch in terms of expansion. His land's actually relatively weak, on the weak side, I'd say. Great commerce potential later on. But yeah, okay, Fluffy's going for a decent expansion phase this game. Oh, and he's planting two away. That's interesting. I don't think he did that before. Xeon's here now. Okay, he planted Leipzig. That's a safer spot. I think he could have gone for here. But it's nice to see people like take that logic into account. Like, which is the safe plant? What can I get away with? He should really just attack this. That's almost a guaranteed kill. Yeah, because he's got no defense bonus. Okay, Windsor Man, very light on military this game. I think he has literally zero. Did he even build a scout? Like a scouting unit? Fuck. Oh. Okay, we'll try spying on him. See what that does. We don't get many of those this game, so that's a pain in the ass. We get one every like 6. Oh my god, that's painful. Stop switching off. Oh, could we? Oh, here's something. Nice. Okay, that's +2 gold. Wait, why did that only give me +1 gold? Oh, because we lost a gold that wasn't going into the commerce, the happiness slider. Fuck. A warrior out to my team? I mean, ideally, your team should get a warrior out to you. Are they in Discord together? They're literally in the same Discord. How can they? How can the communication be that bad? It's like 15, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it's like 12 tiles away. Does he not understand that there's a land connection here? I mean, Windsor Man, DRC Games a lot most certainly understand this. He just hasn't scouted. That's, yeah, the first thing you do almost every game. It is very hard to think of exceptions where you won't want to do this first. But the first thing you should do is you build a single warrior and you send it to where your ally says that they spawned. If you're expansionist, you can build a scout. And you also start with another scout. If you want to know how ridiculous the number of exceptions to that are, that should be in Planted Coast. Yeah, at least he's doing it 2 tiles away. Like, I'll take the principle of the city choice location, but if he might not even know where the whales are. Generally, it's a good idea to get out coastal cities if you can. But yeah, if you want to know how ridiculous the number of exceptions are to like when you wouldn't want to start with a warrior, let's say you like spawn right here and there's 2 huts that your borders are going to expand into. If you have no military units, then you can't get barbarian warriors from the hut. So in that case, you might want to skip the early warrior and then try to get, maybe you'll get a settler even from the hut. We'll hope. Oh, he's doing two apart. That's good. Good habit. Oh, lots of regular archers out. I've noticed this about new players is sometimes they seem allergic to building barracks. I actually pointed that out to like after I reviewed his save files from like a 2v1. Rookie, for context, Rookie here beat Xeon and another player 2v1 last night, like 1v2. And I told Xeon, build barracks, build granaries, basically. Those are the 2 buildings that are great to have. Just staple buildings. Okay, maybe if I starve myself. Yeah, I think if I starve here, that's actually advantageous. Get 20 gold in the per turn in the meantime. That's pretty good. Okay, let's try. I think we want to spy on Rookie. He's going to be a key player here. Oh, he's expensive. And we'll do the Dutch then. So this thing that a spy lets us do is, oh my fucking god. It's like a 60%, 65% chance of succeeding. It lets us see the military of all the people we're up against, so that's useful to have. Milan's actually growing pretty decently. It's going to be key if he can road to his allies and help them out. Yes. At masonry. That's why there's the little electricity symbol next to masonry. got like a nice little cozy civilization going here, though. And no reason for him to catastrophize. He's doing better than... I mean, he has better land than Xeon, but he's doing better than Xeon. Anyway, what I was saying was, new players like to build a lot of units and not build any barracks. I gave Xeon the advice, and it looks like he's built a barracks this game, so nice for following advice. I'm doing a thumbs up motion. I realize there's nobody here to see me do thumbs up, but if you want to picture me casting this game, picture it with me with a thumbs up. A very small subsection of new players also seem allergic to building warriors. Build warriors. Because this is unguarded. The barbarians can just come in and sack it. Enemies can come in and kill your city. And then you have no military police, so you get barbecues. Warriors are so cheap, and they're so effective at what they do. If you just need somebody to fill some space, I'm doing the... Like, you know the meme where it's like when the sun hits the... It's from the Emperor's New Groove. They're just perfect. They do what they do. Anyway, yeah, Xeon growing a little bit more. I'm glad to see that. Buddy, you need to build roads. This is unacceptable. Because like it saves... You can irrigate faster in the short term. He doesn't really need to irrigate faster in the short term. He's not even using all these tiles because he doesn't have enough population. But like when you want to like reinforce the settler and make sure it doesn't die to barbarians, you're going to need the roads to walk on. I mean, the settler itself would have been there 2 turns earlier if he actually had some roads. Yeah. Like, I say irrigation is important, but irrigate and then road, because it's... okay, I'll say generally, yes. So cities are pretty far apart. Normally I wouldn't do 3 tiles apart, but he's like in a safe position, so I'm not worried about him. Like in the long term, there's some advantages to building 3 apart. So I think this will pay off in the long term to a certain extent. Probably not the best idea, but not super unforgivable. Dude. Oh my god. Yeah, they don't have contact because he didn't send any warriors. And because he didn't send any warriors, he didn't scout to know that the barbarians were there. So yeah, I say folk... I guess this is like part of... Are you? I can see the entire map. Okay, maybe he doesn't know where he spawned C89. Maybe he gave the wrong location or something like that. It's 22 turns in the game and you have 1 warrior. I mean, I've done the same myself in certain situations. I think it was more when I had like an expansion of Civ and I was just building a lot of scouts, but yeah, there are consequences to doing that. So Rookie going SimCity, of course. I'm very proud of him. He's going to... I think after this game, he might have graduated above the level of able to play in the new games. Noob games. Again, yeah, these settlers... You notice he actually built the same number of settlers as Rookie, but Rookie is actually ahead in expansion because he had the roads. So these settlers, like the one it take to go to Utrecht, that took 4 turns before he could plant that. If he had a road right here, like here and here, he could have planted the turn it was built. He just lost. Is that too snarky? If I had a smile, like a like a stick out tongue face, will that make it more dickish or less dickish? Ooh. Okay. I think that, yeah, it's hard to get tone across in writing, but he's doing quite well overall. he's expanding, which is the crucial thing. I think he'll build up to a nice late game, but that's what happens if you leave your settlers unescorted and if you don't scout. It's not. It's kind of inevitable in a lot of ways. I mean, it's a small map. There's only so many places the barbarians can spawn, and they tend to spawn out of vision. So if you didn't explore a particular stretch of land, you can safely assume that there's going to be barbarian camps there. Anyway, he did a good job with the Kurag, though, so he will have contact. And Kurags can't, like, die to barbarians, usually. So normally it's a pretty safe way of getting contact. Ooh, Milan's growing pretty big. Yeah, he didn't have the best land. I gave him kind of, like, this spot a little worse land because it's on its own. Because I don't want to, like this is very good land, but he's also kind of pinned down. I suppose I should have... I think I added these silks here. This is probably the weakest start, but Xeon seems to be doing fine. And he's got the 2 allies. But yeah, if this was like 4 enemies surrounding him, he'd be so fucked. There's not a lot of production here, so yeah. Yeah, you'll notice the barbarians spawned here and not here, or here. They spawned out of vision. So Rookie's doing his favorite thing, and he's starting to build horsemen. Actually, included this land peninsula right here, specifically so that these 2 players can interact with each other more easily without having to like go through this player over here. Oh, he's kind of pushing forward. Yeah. I mean, what he needs to be doing is he needs to get a city on this hill, or this hill, like on a hill, a good defensive spot. Because if he loses these hills, he's going to be... I mean, enemy units are just going to place themselves on these hills, and they'll be impossible to get rid of, and they'll have a bunch of vision. So yeah, he should have a city on one of these 2 hills, on this hill, and ideally on this hill too. If he doesn't have priority here, like the enemy have units on him and he doesn't have units on the enemy, so it's kind of hard in that position to like road to the hill and defend the hill and everything like that and claim the hill. But it should be a goal he's working towards too. Oh, and this hill. So if I was playing, this would be how I defended myself, by putting cities on all these hills. Maybe this hill if I could even reach it. Of course, he has no iron unless he gets to that hill. And that wasn't a hard thing to do because there's no rivers blocking his expansion. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you want the defense bonus of the hill. But it doesn't even have that. Yeah, I think I'll tell him. Yeah, okay, I'm just declaring this from now on. New games are not like super bastions of integrity. I will like put my finger on the scale and give advice as needed. Especially if I think it'll make the game more competitive. Like, I mean, 2 attack versus 1 defense. It's actually 1.75 defense because it's 50% from the hill, 25% from fortification. He's still favored to win the fight, and then plus he has an extra hit point, which is very important. So just attacking with a veteran archer should take the hill, like about 70% of the time. And then he's got more archers in case he doesn't succeed. Okay, he's moving in this direction. That's good. He hasn't scouted here, though. Ideally, he should have a sentry. He's sending his settler out unescorted, which is what got him into trouble last time. And what got DRC Games Law into trouble. Uh, he at least has scouts, you know. He's got units on the map. Oh, buddy. Oh my. Yeah. So the AMA is a custom unit for the scenario, and that's to get contact in situations where it's very difficult to get contact. Like, let's say it was Japan, Russia, and Rookie on the same team. It would be almost impossible to get contact with Germany, or Germany to get contact with the other three. So what he could do is he could build this AMA unit. It goes on C tiles. It goes 4 moves per turn. It's very expensive and only has 1 hit point. But it's handy. But yeah, I guess the lesson of this game is don't send out unescorted settlers. Like, I mean, you don't even need like a unit on top of the settler. You just need to have vision of what my settler is going to run into. Could it be a barbarian? Could it be an enemy unit? Yeah, and he's having issues now because he doesn't have a road between his capital and the cities. So it's hard to guard against barbarians. It's hard for him to hook luxuries and get the happiness. Luckily, this is happening to Team Spinner too. It's a noob game, so everybody's going to get fucked by barbarians. But yeah. In this situation, he doesn't even need an AMA. He just needs a Kurag or a Galley. He's got military units, but he's focusing them all. Oh, he seems to want to secure the iron. Fluffy's doing quite well. I'm impressed with Fluffy here. He's definitely moving up in the tier list. Okay, at least he's guarding this settler. That's good. He does need to, like... Yeah, here. I mean, you're just granting a ton of vision and information to Rookie. So if I was in this position, I'd just use warriors to block this off because there's no archers in here. So 1 warrior here, 1 here, 1 here. 1 here, 1 here, done. Or 1 here, 1 here. And then he either has to attack into you, and then you get the defense bonus of fortification and all that. Ooh, I starved. Ooh, that's perfect, actually. Huh. I can probably get happiness if somebody declares war on me. Yeah, he's way overextended. Like, you can't say, oh, that's bullshit, I got hit by barbarians when you're planting your cities 3 apart, no roads, and then no units defending them. Oh, nice. We got a spy, finally. Okay, we're recording this. Nice. Okay, this is another error that new players make. I talked about this last game, is they guard the cities that are most important and not the cities that are most vulnerable. In Berlin, I'd say you need 1 warrior and 1 spearman. That should do fine. You need more units in Frankfurt. It looks like it's just the 1 archer. He should have 2 archers at least. It's hard to tell. Why do you have 3 on this random tile? You could get by with 1. Normally you want archers and stacks together for defensive bombard, which is very strong in multiplayer due to a bug. But yeah, like if he had this control of this tile, he could threaten the settler, but now he can't. He's just ceding control of the land. This is bizarre. His other option is he could build a catapult and then catapult down the... Okay, they have contact finally, jeez. Yeah, Fluffy also has issues with roads. Yeah, the lack of mobility from the rivers is kind of screwing him over. as intended. That's the point of the start. He's got a lot of commerce and production from these ivory. Ivory is actually +2 food in QC, so this is a very strong start. He finally has some warriors out, thank God. Okay. If there's one plus thing here, it's that I think this will teach him the importance of building a lot of warriors. Double move end of turn. Okay. We'll pay attention then. He fortified the archer at least. Okay, I won't spoil it for him, but I don't know exactly how much is in there. Yes, I see. He's probably telling his teammates if he hasn't already told them in Discord. It's a size 1. So if a city is size 1 and it has no culture, no foreign citizens, normally in Civ 3, it automatically gets raised, and the same thing is true in QC. It automatically gets raised, which is good because this is city elimination. So that means that Aqua will not have the chance to retake the city. Be a pretty brutal city to try to retake, though, anyway, because it's on a hill and then across a river. Yeah, more issues. He's finally filling in some of the roads, but no, he's making the same mistake. Okay, I just got to tell him. Almost, yeah. Like there's some cases where the road doesn't grant mobility, like this one I pointed out early on. But oh, he's gonna block the reinforcements here. That's smart. Oh, it's size 2 now. Okay. Great. So, H2 Aqua is 1 down. If he loses one more city, he will die. The way it works in multiplayer... Holy fucking shit. Yeah, the way it works in multiplayer is if it's above size 1, or if it has more than 10 culture, or it has a foreign citizen, you don't get the option, you automatically capture. So either you automatically capture, or if it's size 1, etc., it's automatically raised. So he does have the option here to retake. He knows there are two horsemen in the city. And because the city's corrupt, he can't build like another warrior next turn. Let's see how many archers he has. He has 9 archers. You got to retake the city before he reinforces. What do you have the archers for, if not to guard your tiles or to guard your cities? Or to retake cities once they get taken? You can knock this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll put my finger on the scale. Yeah, so next turn the horseman can attack Königsberg, but no other city. Like, it consumed all their movement points to go on this hill, so they can't move here and then bam bam onto Leipzig. There you go. Probably best to move your units here, because then you can attack without crossing the river. Are his archers like somewhere on the map? No, they're all at home. If he doesn't retake, it's just straight up him dropping the ball. Like, what's going to happen? He's going to kill you with a stack of 2 warriors and 1 spear. 1 warrior and a spear is enough to guard against that, and then put the other 2 warriors in Königsberg. Or he could just take up these 2 tiles, and then he can't attack Königsberg. Lots of options here. I feel like Breaking Bad, like the scene where it's like, he can't keep getting away with this. This is how I feel about Rookie doing these horseman rushes. They are so fragile. Like, that's why I don't do horseman rushes, because you can't hold the cities. You have to be very confident that you can either get a size 1 I hope this makes the decision easier for him. The Russians just suicided a bunch of units onto his capital. Thank you. Okay. That should be enough. Like, just that. It should be enough. Oh, a catapult too. Oh my god, I know what he's going to do. Next turn, before he attacks the city, he's going to bombard with a catapult, and that will give the Chinese time to reinforce. Wow, Xion is not guarding his cities. I can't tell you how many units he has coming in. That would be unfair. I don't know how to phrase this. Yeah, basically, he had 2 swordsmen when he attacked. You had about 8 or 9 archers. That ratio is only going to get worse. Oh, now the horsemen can try to take Leipzig too. They didn't have that option last turn, but now they do. They could try Leipzig. They could try Berlin. That doesn't seem very useful. I don't know if he's on Discord, but he should be like telling Windsorman, "Hey, I need military pressure on the Russians," and then Windsorman should be giving it to him. Windsorman just generally needs more workers too. He only has 5. I've seen a lot worse than that. Yeah, now his wall is there. So now you're... Okay, now you definitely want to bombard first, since you let him get his units in. And he has walls, so you might knock down the walls. Oof, that was brutal. I can't... You didn't commit enough. Yeah, it was like, he had like, what, 4 units in here in Frankfurt? We'll take a look. I don't think we can. But yeah, he had like 4 units in Frankfurt, and then the walls, right? 8 archers would take the city, no doubt. Like, you have 9 archers. There should be 9 archers about to boarding Frankfurt. So you got 3, 5. So the good news is some of those units had just started to reinforce, so he didn't actually... he didn't have time to fortify them, which means they won't heal. So that's an advantage. Even though he only killed like one unit, I think, he did get that advantage. So if he does a stack move at the start of the turn, he can get there before this horseman, because he'd have to road and then send the horseman in. I think he gets another... Oh, no, he built walls. Yes, precisely. He pillaged. Oh my god, he pillaged. He's not getting this. So I'll explain it for people watching. Currently, the Chinese have more cities than the Germans do. If you hang around and let him reinforce, he will beat you because he has more units. He has more cities and he can produce more units. But you have more units in the area. Oh, he's getting really bad RNG. That's brutal. Fucking hell. This is so painful to commentate. So yeah, if he gives him time to reinforce, he will have more units and he will win. If he attacks now with the units he has, he will retake the city. He waited too long. He still might retake the city. Like, what's he got coming in? He's got 3 more horsemen. Jesus, yeah. Okay. I think he'll hold. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, if he attacks right at the start of the turn before he can get the units in. But he probably just has a bunch of horsemen in Frankfurt that are about to heal. But yeah, he just played way too passively. If you play passively, you have to protect yourself. Okay, we'll check out... Oh, damn. Milan's got SimCity going on. Windsor Man's got slightly more rural SimCity. He's doing Farmer Simulator 3000. Yeah, maybe that'll pay off. Oh, nice. Oh, good call. Yeah, he's got Golden Age. It's pretty early. Are they still not in the next era? The fuck? It's turn 32. Okay, if it's any consolation... Oh, finally some decent RNG for him. Nope, guess not. And now he's just kind of throwing units away. Oh, he almost has the city. No. You can just take the catapult if he wants it. Yeah. Good thing the Russians are equally throwing units away. Good for him. Yeah, if he turtles here, he can live for a while, maybe help out his team. But that's an L right there. Okay, let's see what we got going for the Dutch. They finally have hooked a road between their luxuries and their capital. Still no road down here. He lost this worker at the start of the game, and he never rebuilt a worker in this region. That would have helped, yeah, if you had a road here. Yeah. We should have went harder and should have went sooner. If I don't expect him to know this, but if he went on this tile, he could have attacked without taking the 25% bonus from crossing a river. He seems to have bought time for his team, though. Like, this isn't a complete disaster. The complete disaster is they're... Okay, they finally reached the next era of tech. Jesus. Germany gets a free tech, so let's see if they'll successfully coordinate getting that. I somehow suspect that on Team Water, Milan is doing literally everything. Like, he's like, holy shit, I have to play this game 1v3. 1v6, actually. 1v7, God knows I'm not on their teams. Me giving this bad advice. I mean, it was good advice. He just, yeah. He got some bad RNG. Like, still think it was the right thing to do to, like, move all those units in when he did. He just got really bad RNG. Like, he was one away from killing each of those horsemen. He also didn't ever get the walls out. That's a pain in the ass. Okay, a little bit of combat going on here. But Rift is definitely adapting. He seems to have as many cities as the Greeks. Putting a city on a hill here would be a really great idea, just to secure the iron. Yeah, this is only iron. Oh, his team's got this and this, I guess. And this. So they're not going to be hurting in the long term, but yeah. This isn't the long term. Nobody has roads to each other. Nobody has harbors, so this is the closest iron. No way he's going to retake that iron from that. Yeah. Yeah, if I was Germany, I'd just wait for... I'd wait for the Chinese to overextend and then try to do a counter push. Basically do what the Russians are doing. Or he could just build... he could get a harbor and then start to trade with his teammates. That might be handy. Get iron, get horses. See, I think DRC hooked iron too early because now he can't build any warriors anymore. He finally has units guarding all his cities, although he's doing that new player thing where he's guarding his important cities and not his vulnerable cities. Like, the Russians could just send a galley down and take Nagoya if they wanted to, if they were organized enough to do that. I think they're a bit busy on this front, but yeah, he doesn't know that. So it's a good idea to protect your vulnerable cities. Nobody's going to attack Kyoto. They might attack Kagoshima. They might attack Nagoya. Okay, lots of horsemen coming out here. Oh, his capital's on horses, of course. Oh, he's got this mountain. He could actually kill the Russians. Or not kill the Russians. He could probably kill the Russians. I wonder if H2 Aqua is in Discord begging for a counterattack. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be he needs more workers, but this is going to be a nice nation once it comes online. Especially with the Golden Age. It's going to need iron for that. Might take another 20 turns before he can really come online, but yeah, he's just throwing the units away at the city. And because of the defensive bombard bug makes defensive bombard and archers very powerful. So that's what happened here. Like, the unit died before it could even damage the it died entirely to defensive bombard, so it often produced a ghost unit in cases like that. Ooh, yeah, rookie's getting huge. Let's compare score. So you got 111 here. I think, yeah, Xeon... Huh. DRC is actually leading in score because he's planted his cities so far apart. Oh, finally, he's got some 2 apart. Yeah, I'm not going to hate on people building their cities 3 apart as long as, first of all, they don't do it in situations where they're super vulnerable, which isn't the case for him. And as long as they're not, like, literally allergic, figuratively allergic, but, like, if they demonstrate the capacity to build one city 2 apart from another city, that's fine. Oh, nice. They're in the medieval era. Okay, so they probably did get the free tech. So scientific civs get free techs in the new era. Germany's a scientific civ, so all they need to do is pass him all the techs from the last era, and then they get a free tech. If they do not have the organizational capacity to do so, then they don't get that free tech. So it's good that they did. I'm worried about Leipzig, though, to be honest. Let's get a declaration of war from somebody. Finally, he's building some roads. That's good. Oh, I think you actually... Oh, no, you can. You just have to go to active. Anyway. Nice. So that gives me some happiness. And happiness gives me some gold. Yeah, you missed the window. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good thing to do. Xion's guarding his cities now. Or, yeah, Xion. Good for him. Bad for the Dutch if they want to try to get Yekaterinburg. Going to be lots of luxuries for the Chinese. He's going to have 5. That's impressive. Let's see what the Germans have. 9 art, yeah. I really hope he's got more than one warrior in Leipzig. Yeah. He needs walls in Königsberg. The fucking pyramids, too. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a long game. It might pay off. It's hard to know the positioning of his troops. If he has all of his archers in Königsberg and he attacks Königsberg, that could be very bad. He only has one road to Königsberg, so it'd be very trivial for the Germans to cut that off, though, or the Chinese to do that. I have no clue what the fuck Xion is building. Also, just an advice, you don't have to irrigate literally every tile that you can irrigate. Like, I mean, normally what I do is I irrigate bonus grasslands and plains and then mine non-bonus grasslands. Because this is 0 shields, so you don't get the bonus shield in Golden Age and you don't get the bonus shield in Wartime mode. So you do get the bonus shield if you mine that instead. So you get 2 shields instead of just 1. Oh, nice. He lost his luxuries. At this point, I'm very clearly cheering for Team Water. Rookie is a very big, scary bad guy. So. Oh, what happened to his... Didn't he have a bunch of swordsmen here? Galley, too. He can make something happen with that. And we'll see what Milan's going to be able to do. Yeah, I think my new rule for these games will be I will give advice to the players as requested and as needed. I won't give advice to someone who's clearly already winning. But oh, nice, more workers coming out. Good. They're just going to plant this just every piece of land. It's good. Generally, the safest place you can plant cities on the map is right next to your allies, so don't be scared of expanding all over them. Sometimes it's good to ask permission first, but it's a nice thing to do. Because I want my allies to be strong, and even if that means planting cities literally in my land, if it makes them stronger, I'm happy to see them do it. Ooh, next turn. We'll see how that goes. Königsberg, okay. Hope he builds walls. I mean, he can see the riders. He should know. Oh, he's not guarding the... He has no defensive bombard. Oh, no, there it is. Yeah, he's losing a lot of units to the archers, but... Oh, I think he has quite a few archers. Is he reinforcing? Holy shit. That was close. Dude. Reinforce. Buddy. Oh, come on. You got another? Okay, there you go. Yeah. Nice. Okay, nice hold. That was a good hold. Sweet. Oh, he had a bunch in Berlin. So generally, as a rule, if you know that somebody can reinforce between all their cities, there's going to be like a fixed pool of units no matter what city you attack. So you want to attack the one with the least defense bonus. So that means Königsberg, as long as you don't do it across the river. So based on that knowledge, if Ak was obviously a new player, so he doesn't know this necessarily, but based on that knowledge, did he just plant that on a banana? Oh my god. Okay, don't plant cities on bonus food. Okay. So based on that knowledge, he should know if an attack's coming, it should be to Königsberg. So he should have at least a good portion of his spearmen in there. He doesn't need to guard Berlin, because Berlin gets this 50% defense bonus from being a city. Like, it's above size 6. He either needs the walls in Königsberg. Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, rookies, he's smart enough to know about cutting roads, too. So he should be smart enough to block this road before he attacks. But yeah, he lost a lot of riders to defensive bombard, so we'll see how that goes. Definitely a good development for Team Water. Yeah, he did have his archers in the right city. I'll give him that, definitely. I thought he was saying you have no reason to, and that's not really true. Oh, yes, he does have reason to. Of course, he has a catapult in here, so he can just knock down the walls, but... Yeah, that's smart. There you go. Good, yeah. So 2 archers, then you get defensive bombard. I'll make sure I give him the right one. Control-Shift-G, I think. Yeah. Yeah, good to test it just so you're familiar with what it does. I'm liking the team waters. Just like control when it's under attack. Sometimes the game... while you're under attack. Yeah, exactly. So for people watching, if you're wondering, if you're 2 tiles away, like if I want to reinforce the city that's over here, I can do that. You just can't do it to the one that's 1 over. And so that's why I'm telling him this now, because He can't get these specific archers in unless he does Control-Shift-G. He can't get them into Königsberg or Leipzig, but he should be able to get units from like Berlin into Königsberg, for example, because they're more than one tile away. This is strange. Yeah, some of them have galleys along the outside, I think. I mean, one Kurag and a galley. It'd probably be more useful to put galleys on the inner sea. Oh, they cleared off... Looks like they cleared off the horsemen from here. I haven't been paying attention to this front so much, but yeah. Let's see if the Chinese do anything. That's just decadent. Nobody's going to actually attack your cities. I can't answer that question for you. I mean, in the position he was in, Statue of Zeus was fine, especially for the Golden Age. That's actually a smart idea. Pyramids, yeah, I do that sometimes when I got a Golden Age and I just have a bunch of shields to invest. It's good. Great Wall, absolutely terrible idea. The Great Wall costs, what, 50 shields in QC? And for militaristic civs, walls cost 2 shields. We'll see what the Great Wall costs. It might be 100. $75, because it's halved because it's accelerated production. Because yeah, Colossus is 50 and it should show as 100. Yeah, okay, so it costs 75 shields. If he built walls in every single one of his cities, he has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That would have cost 22 shields, and he paid 75 shields for what would have cost 22 shields. Due to how the years work in QC, tourism is really nothing. You get no tourism almost, so you don't get that benefit. I mean, I guess he could, in the position he's in, I think he can really benefit from that combat bonus against barbarians, to be quite honest. But yeah, aside from that, it's not the kind of wonder you want. The one advantage to building Great Wall in QC is that people can't knock down your walls with catapults. Again, this is not a position he's going to find himself in this game, but it's worth noting. You guys have to stop sending out escorted workers and settlers. Like, put the warrior here and then put the spearman here. Done. You save yourself a worker. And that's if you only have one warrior in here, which is maybe you have a couple. Dutch getting big. They do have vision here, so I'm okay with that. But if they're expanding in this direction and they didn't have vision over what was here, I mean, there could be a bunch of Greek horsemen, for example. A conga line of riders. That's amazing. Yeah, we tried to get a game up before this, but it wasn't working due to Andre couldn't connect. I don't know what he's saying. Ooh, he's going for Berlin. Let's see how this goes. Well, he knows how to reinforce now, and the roads here are kind of thick, so he can't cut the roads very easily. Because if he cuts this, he can go 1, 2, 3. If he cuts these 2, he could still go from here. I hope he practiced his Control-Shift-G. Oh, he's still guarding it. Holy shit, is he going to hold? I think he held. If he can hold Königsberg. Shit. Oh, here comes the Russians. This is incredible. I'm so glad I chose this game to cast. Oh, yeah, he's fine. I mean, he's gonna die, but he'll live one more turn. So he has time to pass all his gold and shit like that. Oh yeah, that's so many riders coming in. Yeah, he's dead. Next, let's see how many units he has in his whole empire. Oh, 6 archers and a spear. Okay. I think he's got like a 1 health spear in Berlin or something. And he's probably got 1 coming in each city, at least a warrior. So he can take a few riders with him while he dies, but he could also try a counterattack on Frankfurt, but he'd have to be really confident that he can move quickly, and based on his performance in that area in this game, I don't think he could. But yeah, sometimes when somebody's like mounting an attack on you like this, they'll leave their city poorly defended, and you can counterattack. I actually died to that like a week ago. El Quixote hits hard. What can I say? He's finally roading here. That's a good idea. But yeah, I mean, fighting archers and spears against riders, he would have had difficulty holding even if he held Frankfurt, but it certainly didn't help. I think he's just going for Frankfurt. I'm going to knock the walls down too. That's smart. If I was Germany, though, I'd be preparing to reinforce. I don't know if that road's going to be done. Yeah, here comes the luxuries for him. Oh, he's got a galley out too. Wonder if there's anything in this one. You gotta use it. Oh, he's building more settlers still. That's good. Fucking Sun Tzu's. Oh, great choice. Oh, he's actually coming out of the city to attack. I guess he knows, like, the city's going to die. Attacking with the fucking spearmen. I mean, at a certain point, you're just going to give promotions. Oh, take the catapult before he dies. Oh, he got this archer in, so he gets defensive bombard. Nice. He took a rider down. Yeah, that's the last one he's going to get, though. All right. Definitely GG to Aqua. Played well. Oh, he got the catapult before he died. I mean, I wouldn't say he played well, but he played hard, and did certain specific things well. Shame is his team couldn't be more help. But yeah, he's kind of cornered over here. His team should have really been passing him iron. I don't know what text they're on, but yeah, it would have really been helpful for him. Okay, he's got gems eventually, but Silk's coming before too long. Hopefully they can trade luxuries with each other. Samurai is coming out. Oh, thank God. Okay. I'm wondering what's their path here, because there's going to be a million riders from this direction. If they go after Xeon, yeah, I'd say they have to go over Xeon or Fluffy. So Rookie's going to be kind of in a tough position here, because there's 2 places where his units could potentially be useful. They could be useful here, and they could be useful here. But it's very hard for him to reinforce between those 2 locations, especially with limited roads, because Xeon and Fluffy haven't built too many roads. Called Andre doesn't from survey. I don't know if I'll be able to make it to the game. He says an hour and 43 minutes late. That's okay. Like, we had enough people that it wasn't like we need everybody who commits to show up. There's a few slots, and in fact, some people had to like sit out of the game because there wasn't enough spots for them. Yeah, I think in the future what we'll do is we'll set a time for noon, but I'll come online like half an hour or an hour early, and as soon as we have 8 people, including me. The fuck? I mean, there's a weird function in game. Yeah, Civ actually comes built in with like a voice chat thing, but we can't get it to work. But sometimes it comes on randomly, and we can hear like people listening to music or their wife yelling at them or whatever. Normally Shift turns that on, or Tab, is it? We'll see if that helps. Okay, and we got knights coming up from Spain too. Ooh, veteran knights too. The Dutch are kind of a train wreck right now. He's still trying to settle. That's dangerous. Like, he can maybe get away with one here and one here. And if he really defended one here, but he needs roads, he needs units. He needs iron. Okay, finally maybe they can pass him iron. Because there's iron here. Spanish seem to have iron, I think. Japanese must be passing it to them. But there's 3 iron and there's 3 people, so it should be fine. So the one disadvantage that Team Spinner has is that they did go for their golden age. I don't know about the Greeks. If they got the Sun Tzus that fast, I assume they must have had their golden age fast. But yeah, China definitely got early golden age, and that's going to wear off, and it will for the Greeks too, assuming they got their golden age. So we'll see how that goes. Ooh. They could just sweep through the Dutch if the Dutch aren't careful. Yeah, you can't let your teammates play on an island, like a figurative island. If you're a veteran and you spawn, so there's 2 terms I like to use: out of position and in position. So Xeon spawned in position, meaning he spawned near the enemies, and Milan spawned out of position, meaning he spawned by himself. So if you spawn out of position and you're the experienced player on your team, or you're one of the more skilled players on your team, then you have to do something to assist your allies. Like, you have to communicate heavily, make sure they're getting what they need. You have to send boats, you have to send them monies, techs, resources, luxuries, everything you can to help prop them up. Otherwise, they will die and you will lose. It can be a strong position to have your experienced players spawn out of position, as in by themselves, but it means they can't impact the game early on. So if the other team acts fast, they can get a killing blow. But on the other hand, if you are an experienced person, you spawn out of position, that means you have all the space and time in the world you need to grow safely and scale up to be like a big late game power. It's really a shame he didn't lose any archers here. But yeah, he's pushing forward. We'll start spying on people, I guess. We got one on China. Let's get one on Japan. Fucking hell. Maybe we can get one on Spain. Wow. Holy shit. Okay. Shit just got real. I guess he was stacking horsemen and then he just upgraded them to knights. That must be it. Like, they just got chivalry, so there's no way he hard built. Hard build means like you build it without slaving and without upgrading. There's no way he hard built all those knights with no golden age this early. I guess maybe, and he couldn't have slaved because he doesn't have barracks in all those cities, I assume. So yeah, it must have been an upgrade trick. So Rookie might actually overextend here. If he could easily kill Iculus with 10 knights, but he can't hold with 10 knights. He can't like hold the cities he's captured. So at this point, the lack of roads is really going to fuck him over. Icarus and then Team Water in general, because they don't have... He can't send the knights quickly, even if they have a rite of passage. He's got the silks finally. That's good. Okay. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll leave the screen over here. Should be the interesting place to leave it. Okay, so the happiness problems seem to have subsided here. I wonder if he used the happiness slider or not. Hope he did. Anyway, yeah, the Japanese have still failed to like move their units somewhere useful. I wonder how much they have. Oh my god, I can't believe all the spies failed. That's a pain. But we can see the massive rider stack that Rookie has. Yeah. And then Greece is marching in some units too. Oh, it looks like his boat won combat. We'll see if there's anything in the boat. But yeah, he needs his golden age. His team needs to pass him iron. I guess they have a spare one hooked next turn or the turn after, but it was a bit late, to be honest. Let's see what the land is. Yeah, this is pretty good land. He doesn't really... he's got a few mines up here. None of these hills are mined, though. But he should be able to do, like... Especially in a golden age, he should be able to do one Swiss mercenary per turn. Even the Russians are getting in on it, sending their units over. Losing another to Barbar... Come on. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on... I'm like George Bush saying that wrong, but pretty much... Yeah, I'll give you one out for falling for that, but after the second time, if you're still losing unescorted settlers to barbarians that you know are around, that's your fault. To a certain extent here, but the colonies aren't as important as the settlers. Jesus, settlers are really expensive. Or in QC, settlers cost the same relative number of shields, but they cost 3 population instead of 2. So they're a pain to build. Oh yeah, so the Greece builds Sun Tzu's. That's generally a good wonder, but normally you need a lot of cities to get a lot out of it. So, I mean, the biggest... one big perk is that there's no maintenance. Like, I think it's 200 shields for Sun Tzu's. Let me check. Yeah. Oh, no, 150. So a barracks is 10 shields for non-militaristic civ. So normally you'd need 15 cities to justify the existence of Sun Tzu's, but also with Sun Tzu's, a big perk is that you save maintenance, which is not true for the Great Wall because walls don't cost maintenance. So I'd say with like about 12 cities, you get at least the proper return on investment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you might get there. I don't know. Okay, I thought he was going to do a big attack and take a city, but it seems like he's sending them in piecemeal. Which could be bad in its own way, because then this big stack will defeat in detail, you know. Basically, the advantage is that he gets to attack the damaged riders, and the riders can't attack the damaged knights because they're in the big stack. One of the better results is that, let's say Rookie takes one city and then he can't hold it. That'd be very bad for him if he was one down. Because the team is kind of relying on him here to carry. So knowing what we know here about Milan, I'd say If he had lost Frankfurt, their team would have been completely fucked. But he didn't. So here we are. Again, another conga line of riders. Ooh, and a small stack here too. We'll see how this is going to go. I think I can grow one, actually. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know what Russia's doing. Has he just lost all his workers to barbarians? I see 2 workers. He does have kind of a low productivity start, so that can be kind of rough. But yeah, I guess the stuff's just coming out slow. He's probably built a bunch of buildings like courthouses and marketplaces that he doesn't really need. Maybe temples. I'm not seeing the culture from temples though. Maybe a library here. We'll see, I guess. This is stupid. Have we told him that it's 2-city elim? Like, it's 2-city elimination. If you lose 2 cities, you die. I mean, he must have figured it by the fact that his teammate is dead. If I was smart and I was a rookie, I'd just start pillaging. Like, get rid of his ability to reinforce his other cities once your big stack shows up. He still doesn't know about this, though. Ah. There we go. Hopefully he gets one here, too. Now, if Fluffy takes a city, that is very, very bad for Team Water. If Rookie takes one, then yeah, the Spanish can retake. And then Rookie's down one, and he's in a very weak position. But I think if, like... he's got archers in there, yeah, defensive bombard. So you see the units dying before they just like magically lose 3 hit points in the middle of combat. That's defensive bombard. And as we saw earlier, it's definitely possible to overcome defensive bombard. But it can be difficult. Okay, he's at least trying to send some units to defend Hallward, but... yeah, all it would take was just one rider. He knows he's got riders in his own land. He knows that riders are on the map. Surely he must think... yeah, God. And if he loses the city, then his allies can't retake. Like, if he loses Eindhoven or Amsterdam, it's like, whatever. The Spanish can retake the city. If he loses this, I mean, if it's a size 1, it just dies, right? But if not, then it's a very hard city for the Spanish to retake, especially with no roads leading that direction. Okay, yeah. So you notice he lost like 1 or 2 knights and then killed 4 or 5 riders. And that's how defeat in detail works. He's pushing forward. These guys aren't even fortified, so he's got good combat odds against them. Oh, I guess he has vision. I didn't take that into account. The Dutch do have vision here. They probably don't know exactly how many riders are coming. He probably thinks, oh, we got, 20 knights, and then I see, 8 riders? We're golden. What the fuck is DRC doing? I guess he went for an early golden age. Yeah, because he got his golden age from Wonders. He's focusing way too much on defense. You don't need pikemen. You don't need spearmen even. What Rookie's doing is golden. He's got riders. He's got warriors. Is he missing anything? What's the problem there? Nothing. There's no problem. You don't need defense because nobody's actually attacking him in his actual cities. And riders are pretty good defensive units if he does. On the same vein, samurai are pretty good defensive units. Especially good defensive units, actually. If somebody does attack you, and if they don't attack you, well, then you can attack them with your samurai. Pikemen aren't going to do shit if nobody attacks you. So, better to have the versatility of the samurai. Jesus. I mean, he's actually getting the wonders built. I'll give him credit for that. Often when new players build wonders, they just... the game's basically over by the time they complete the wonder. It's like, oh, wow. 2 turns before the game's over, you have the Mausoleum of Mausolus. That's going to be so helpful. In this case, he's actually getting them, and they're able to have the impact that they do have to the extent that they have an impact. Obviously, the Great Wall is not being particularly impactful at the moment, but he did build it in time for any impact that it does have to take effect, you know? And if he has units to upgrade, if he has a bunch of horsemen, that's great to build Leonardo's workshop. I don't think he does, though. Or at least we can't see if he does. God, if only we had the money to spy. We could try again next turn. But the flag from the failed mission might still be there. Oh, 2 archers coming. Okay, he's building defensive units at least. He built that warrior, I think. So I've noticed that lately we've got a lot less people who have that feeling of being allergic to planting their cities 2 tiles away. He's planting them far apart, but he's got some that are 2 apart. Like this and this and this. And so I think part of a consequence of that is a lot of the new players joining our games are people who watch the videos from my channel or maybe from other people's channel like Saucyson or whoever. And so because of that, they see me, and when I play single player games even, multiplayer games definitely, but single player games too, I do build my cities 2 apart. So if they see me doing it, they must think, oh, this is viable, this is something I should do sometimes. This is actually smart coming out of Spain, sending his knights to the more vulnerable cities. So yeah, let's go. I've been pretty critical today. Let's go around and do some compliments. He's coming online, definitely. I still think he could use some more mines along the mountains and the hills, and more workers in general. But if he's in his golden age, he can be producing quite a bit with what he has. And, I mean, the pyramids have definitely helped him. Look how high population all of his cities are. They're running into the growth cap, the ones that aren't on rivers. Oh, he went for a fucking aqueduct? Oh, God, sorry. I know I was trying to not be critical, but Jesus. Aqueducts are kind of dumb in QC. Unless he's not Republic, is he? No, he's not Republic. Wow, Spain went Republic. Oh, this could actually work for them. Oh, nice. The Dutch are getting some knights. I didn't expect that. We'll see if anyone else switched, I guess. It's always a possibility. Oh, the Dutch switched. Oh, fuck. Oh, no wonder he's rioting for so long. It's like 6 or 8. It's 4 to 8 turns of anarchy switching to Republic. So he just lost 4 to 8 turns in the middle of the game. Yeah, that's a very bad idea. So Spain is religious. Religious civs can go Republic if they want to. I wouldn't recommend doing it if you spawn in position. If you're out of position, you don't need a ton of units for unit support. Because in multiplayer games, you build a lot of military units, and you have to pay unit support on all those units. But yeah, a lot of moves queued up here. But that's not so much the case for if you spawn out of position, because you don't really need to guard too much. The Dutch spawned in position, and they are a... sorry, they're not a religious civ, so the anarchy length is 4 to 8 turns if they're a big empire, which they are. Yeah, killing riders at least. Okay, we'll try to get a spy on the Dutch before they die. I think it's been a while since I tried that, so shouldn't have the flag. Oh, he's just super far. Yeah, I guess this is like the polar opposite of this. Like here, it's like kind of, yeah, it's closer than it looks because of the way the map wraps, but yeah, this is just super far. Even this, it's like, bam, not too far. But here, I really want to know how many units are in these cities. Like, if he's got like 6 units, he could hold out pretty well. Got a crazy defense bonus. Like, the Hag's not on hills, but 50% plus... Oh, he attacked onto the mountain. That's bad. If you want to hold the mountain, put a unit on the mountain. If you don't care, then don't attack. Oh, now he's attacking over the river onto the mountain. Jesus. Take the mountain, dude. Okay. Looks like he cleared the units off here, so he's in the dark. It could be a big stack of riders coming for Halwart. He doesn't know. Compliment. Obviously, Milan doesn't need any compliments. He's doing fantastic. Republic was actually a smart idea for him. If he can get to astronomy fast and get his unique unit, he can make some interesting plays here and really make the game competitive. Fluffy's just playing solidly. I think he needs horses. Does he not have horses? Okay, there's some out here. Yeah, his team only has 1 horse, so that's forgivable. He's playing more of a melee style. If he's playing a melee style, he needs to build more roads, but he's doing that now. Oh, that's good for him. He has high population cities. He has a decent number of cities, and he built them close together this game. So the great formation, I think he's really benefiting from this, and he's able to put like a lot of pressure towards the Dutch. And it's been like a huge thorn in his side all game. So he did his job while the Russians and the Chinese were focusing on the Germans. He pressured the Dutch, and now the Dutch are kind of weak relative, all things considered. About the Dutch, the compliment I'll give is they did build a lot of cities, and that's very important to do in multiplayer games, so it's good that he took that to heart. Oh, God, yeah. So I'll explain Republic. So, I mean, look at what the Chinese have, for example. Chinese have 95 units. Right now, he'd be getting about, how many cities does he have? Like, maybe 17 cities, plus a few ones that are above size 6. So I'd say he'd be maybe getting 30 units support, and that's pushing it. So he'd be 75 or 65 units over the cap, meaning he pays 130 gold per turn in unit support. So that economy just doesn't work. So for the same reason, the Dutch shouldn't be going Republic because they just have to pay 1 million. Oh, Temple of Artemis. That's a bad one in multiplayer because it goes obsolete so quickly. Like, you get the border expand on all your cities, which is nice, but what do you really need that for? Just slave some temples if you really need it. I guess if you're not planning to go education at all this game and you're just going to go straight for cabs and ignore the top techs, it could pay off, I guess, in some sense. It's an expensive wonder, right? Though. So it's 150 shields for Sun Tzu's. Yeah, so it cut in half because of accelerated production. So 150 shields. And what is it for Temple of Artemis? Yeah, 125. So very expensive. I wonder if it's viable, our Temple of Artemis. Because a few patches back, we did buff the temple because the temple was so catastrophically bad in QC. It's 2 happy faces instead of 1. So I wonder if it's viable. Yeah. He's dead. He just doesn't have the units. Maybe if he has like a bunch of archers in here and they focus everything on Halbert. Wasn't he like building a road here? What happened there? Oof, oh, that's a drop. Hey people, and we're back. Sorry, we had to have a reload. And H2 Aqua has replaced Xeon, and then Andre has replaced Rookie. But they're still the same civilization, so it's mostly going to be the same. Milan's doing a good job here, guarding these mountains. That's going to be really important. Wow, he's got more knights on the way. He's good at what he does. Huh. So the thing is, he's Republic, so we can't actually slave knights. Like, you can't use hurry production, at least without paying a ton of gold. That's generally not worth it. Okay, it looks like the Japanese... Wow, that's a lot of samurais. Good for him. Okay. This could be quite good. Oh, they actually have 4 irons between them. So if he wanted to disconnect iron so he could build horsemen, he would have trouble doing so. Did not mean to send that to meat. And it's too late now. Wow, lots of units coming in. That's interesting. I think the game actually lags while the animation plays out. That's interesting to see. So I'm wondering if there's advantages to turning off... turn off automatic moves, maybe. Oh, the animations might be the problem. Yeah, because sometimes people complain that, oh, you move so much faster than me, I can't move that fast. I wonder if the game settings has anything to do with that. I tend to run no show moves, no animate moves, no animate combat, and no cancel orders. Oh, yeah, he's like 15 minutes late. Okay, so the Spanish have sent some units around. They really need these roads here. This is really costing them things. Yeah, because he can't mobilize his units there. And even if the Chinese and their Greeks take enough time getting there that the Spanish can get their knights there, well, then what happens if the Spanish need to move their knights to another theater? What happens if they need to move over here? It'll take them forever to get back there. I mean, there's not even a direct road between Rotterdam and Amsterdam. It's just, it's not enough workers. So we're going to try to get a spy on the Dutch, see what we can see. Fucking hell. Just the worst RNG for spies this game. He is building units. I think he's got his golden age, yeah. He must have his golden age. So we can build longbowmen and Swiss mercenaries quite quickly. That's cute. His backline cities are empty, but if the Chinese take them, I don't know if he can hold. We'll see what he does with his stack. You better fortify. This is a bad angle. The Spanish could just attack him directly. Oh, no, he's going straight for the capital. With one, not with the stack, though. Huh. That's pretty much the worst option, going for the capital. Because he's probably got a lot of units in there. And he's showing Swiss mercenaries, unlike a lot of these other cities. And the Spanish are right nearby to retake. And it's size above size 6, so it gets a 50% defense bonus. And he's attacking across the river. So there's a lot of reasons why that's a bad idea. We'll see what he ends up doing, though. The Spanish aren't attacking him, which they probably should. Like, maybe leave one or two to defend the mountains, but definitely while you have the good shot at the riders, go attack the riders. Like, if you want to block them off, you need to commit to blocking them off. Put a knight here, 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 like all across the land. If you're not going to block them off, you need to attack them when you have a good chance to do so. And there's not going to be a better chance than this. He's unfortified on grassland. This is a favorable combat trait for you. I should probably take it. We'll see what he does, though. Like, he's cutting off the ability to attack Eindhoven, which is kind of good. Of all the cities that the Dutch have, that's probably the easiest for them to retake because the Japanese are standing a stack up. Knights Templar. Lots of wonders this game. Yeah, if I was him, I'd just move right now onto this mountain or something like that. Oh, they're going for Hulbert. They almost took it. They're going to take it. Yeah. And that's to the Greeks, too, so that's very bad for their team. If the Spanish acts fast at the start of next turn, they can take Hulbert before he can reinforce. This is pretty dire, though, because it means that they can just roll up on Rotterdam, take Rotterdam. And even if the Spanish retake, then they've only lost one city to the Chinese. So the Dutch will die, the Chinese won't. Yeah, looks like he's dead here. Okay, yeah, the Spanish realize they have to get involved. Well, one thing they could do is they could retake the Hague when it falls, and then hope the Chinese try to retake and then retake again. That'd be their other option. They're finally attacking on the flatland, though. That's good. But the Chinese have another stack, you know? They can just swivel around. They haven't done anything with this yet. If I was the Spanish, I'd block off this tile right here. Stop, or block off this one, actually. So the Chinese, if they want to attack into it, they have to cross the river. Oh, looks like they got quite a few bows here, and they're getting defensive bombard, I think. If I was the Dutch, I'd move a unit here, definitely. Again, to stop the reinforcements. That'll do, I guess. At this point, I'd probably be passing gold to my teammates or spending it on units if I think I'm going to live another turn. Oh, he's blocking. Jesus. Okay, it's all going to come to a head at least. Oof. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're moving units in enemy land, especially when you've got more than one ally doing it. It's really easy to block people by accident. So he can go up here. Oh, he attacked the city. Did he do a stack move at end of turn? No, he's doing the 1x1, I think. He's just talking. He can just go. Yeah, because they're just going to heal up, right? Yeah, he's just getting cut down. Spanish didn't move in. Wow, he's still blocking, and that combat lasted a long time. I'll tell him about. I mean, I think he's gonna take the city if he just stack attacks with this big stack, especially if he goes around. He won't be able to hold the city, but he can take it because he gets 25% from fortification, 10% from the grassland, and 50% from being above size 6. So this is crazy defense bonus on Amsterdam. It's just a meat grinder for him. And then plus the defensive bombard. Just X click stack attack. I mean, you're giving him a chance to reinforce by doing this way. I think this is over. I think he threw it because now Japan's getting involved. I don't think he can take. If he keeps attacking, he can take the city. Just X click to. I'm not even sure if it's the best idea, but I mean the best idea is just go for Rotterdam, right? Dutch die. He doesn't even have to hold Rotterdam. It's a 3v2. They win in the long run. But he's clearly not going to do that. He just got slaughtered trying to take the city in the worst way possible. I mean, yeah, it's the rider. The rider is a mobile. Like the advantage of the rider is the mobility. If you're not going to use the mobility, you're just going to get wrecked. Because riders are one more shield more expensive than knight in QC as a balance thing. So if you're not using the mobility of the rider, you're just using a slightly more expensive knight. And knights are already quite expensive. Now he starts up again. I think he upgraded all of his warriors to medieval infantry. If he was stacking attacking, then the Spanish wouldn't even have an option of. Jesus, I think he might get it just by brute force. He's got a couple left. Just 2 undamaged ones left. I'm not sure if they haven't moved yet, though. And now they took a hit. Yeah, if he just stacked attack the first time I said stack attack, he takes Amsterdam. Doesn't matter if he holds Amsterdam. It's 3v2. I think they win that in the long run. Instead, he's just getting crushed. If I was the Dutch, I'd even start attacking. Oh, they finally finished the road to Haarlem. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so this isn't Rookie. Again, as a reminder, someone played as a substitute for Rookie, and it's one of his first games. He seems to have built a lot of riders, or he's just not moving the ones he did build. I wonder if he's slaving or not. It's good to slave. He certainly has the luxuries to slave. Hurry production costs a lot of happiness, but you can handle it. You could go around here. Jeez, I don't know. He had so many riders against so few Dutch units. Now there's a million different stacks of knights coming in. Ancient Cavs, Samurai. Samurais are hard to deal with. Fluffy is still strong, though. I mean, Fluffy might lose Hallwart, but I don't think Fluffy is likely to lose any of these cities up front. Got a lot of melee units, which aren't very good for attacking, but they're great for defending. Oh, he's actually attacking into the knights. Yeah, it's working. Defensive bombard, yeah. I mean, if you know he has longbows in there, you shouldn't attack. If you don't have more units than that. You guys are just going to hang out and just let him have these damaged riders. Attack him, for Christ's sake. Yeah, okay, there you go. Before he puts them on a mountain. I think the worst habit, not the worst habit, but definitely there's a trend that between the AI is so dumb when it comes to tactics. They're okay at strategy. They're good at knowing how to expand and how to build stuff, but they're awful at controlling their units. They just do pointless streams and suicides and everything like that. So as a result, as a human player, you don't actually have to be good at controlling the units yourself. And so as a result, when a lot of people come over from single player to multiplayer, they just have no clue what the fuck to do with their units. So here's a bunch of options that were better than what he did. Move onto this mountain. Double move, especially. I don't expect him to know what a double move is, but definitely move onto mountain so you have a lot of options as to cities to attack. Then you can threaten Utrecht, you can threaten Rotterdam. If you move onto this mountain, you can even threaten Groningen and Haarlem and The Hague, of course. He could have gone to Arnhem or to Eindhoven. He could have gone here and then attacked not across the river. He could have just done a stack attack. And then he would have taken the city before other units could attack against him. Or he could have just sent the units to Hallwart to begin with and to Haarlem. He had a lot of other good options, but he chose... Or just hung out literally anywhere. Hang out fortified here, hang out on the mountain. At least make it so that the other civs can't attack onto you. But yeah. The defenders, they did what they needed to, mostly. Not really. I mean, he should have been guarding the backline cities, but... Yeah. I mean, you need to guard the backline cities when the opponent can reach the backline cities. And with riders being so mobile, you can reach the backline cities. If the riders were here, then he should be guarding Amsterdam and The Hague and Haarlem. But once the riders are inside your land, they can start to attack your backland cities, and you either need to be guarding those cities or guarding the tiles that allow them to access those cities. So if the stack is here, you need to guard this, 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 and this. Oops. Sorry. Yokohama now has a harbor. Sending some knights to clean up the Russians here. I think they should have just gone for the Russians. I mean, they kept the Dutch alive, which seems to have been worked out quite well for them. If they now just pivoted onto the Russians, I mean, you need more roads. Like you got to start building. You got to build roads. This goes to everybody, but you should have roads in the direction of the enemy civs. At the very least, you want this roaded and then this roaded. If you have this roaded, then suddenly the enemy can start to use that road. So maybe you don't want that roaded. But at the very least, you want these two roaded. Yeah. So let's see what they had. What 45 riders or something? 50 riders. They have 20 now. So they're now weaker than the Spanish and the Japanese combined. And plus, you got the Dutch on their side. Fluffy is having some difficulty roading to Hallward, so it will be hard to hold if the Japanese decide to go for that, or if the Spanish do. Finally, he's getting some roads up here. Yeah, that's going to help out a lot. Russians, if they get their golden age, they could have a decent productive capacity. But their team needs to tech. I don't know how far they are in the tech tree. They got He just built a million muskets. Okay, they hit banks. So they're pretty far. Banking chemistry done. Okay, yeah, they're close to cavalry. He just built a bunch of muskets that he didn't need. He must still be in Golden Age, I guess. Ooh. Wow. So they're actually, I mean, they're in Republic. It makes sense. They must not, did you do, I'll ask him. So he has 6 ancient cavalry, 1 here. Yeah, this is barely just starting to pay itself off in terms of the investment. Is what, 75 shields? And these guys are worth about 12, 13 shields. So yeah, that's the thing. The game needs to last 50 turns for it to pay itself off. And normally, noob games are a little different, but normally games of QC will not last that long. So for that reason, I wouldn't normally recommend building the Statue of Zeus, but he got his golden age from it, and it seems to have helped him out. So good for him. It's a good choice, like I said. Okay, he's starting to push in this direction. Spanish are keeping him company too. Just kind of hanging out there with a big stack. Yeah, I mean, this is why I didn't want to do a sub, because you have he's building muskets instead of riders. And if you remember me complimenting him early in the game, is like he had warriors and he had riders and he has workers and that's all he needs. And that's still true, but he's building muskets for some reason. So the team is 2, 5, 6. Yeah, so they're actually losing on score. So if they need to kill someone or else they lose the game. This must be fun for Icarus Rift, at least from his perspective. He pulled off the most miraculous hold of all time with help from like his like calling in the cavalry, like the charge of the winged hussars allies coming in to save his life. This must be like a very thrilling experience of Civ 3 for him. Not gonna be fun for Rookie watching this on YouTube, seeing his his nation get destroyed. Yeah, so I'd like to talk a lot about favorable versus unfavorable trades and objectives. So the idea is you never want to do an unfavorable trade unless it's over a particular objective. So this is a very unfavorable trade, attacking Amsterdam with riders, because he gets like what 85% defense bonus in Amsterdam, and he has 4 defense units there. So extremely unfavorable. Oh, and the 4 defense units cost 7 shields. Riders cost 18 shields. So exceptionally unfavorable trade. And it was over an objective. Amsterdam is an objective, but if you fail to take the objective, then you're fucked. Now, on top of that, there's some situations where you can't even afford to take neutral trades, like even trades. Like before, if he had a rider in his land and he was being... Like when he attacked... If there's a rider here and he attacks it with a knight, he actually needs the knight to be guarding the hog because he needs to be taking favorable trades. And at least in the hog, he gets a 60 defense, 60% defense bonus. 85 when he's fortified. Oh, God. So, yeah, the defense bonus in Amsterdam was 110% with the river, the fortification, the city size, and the train is grassland, so that's 10%. Yeah, that was just an exceptionally bad position to engage on. Oh, plus defensive bombard. Yay. Yeah, if you're in doubt, just like pillage. If he just like take one of those riders, he could have... They can move 3 tiles, right? So they could pillage anywhere in a 2-tile radius in one turn. So he could have pillaged literally everything here. And then eventually while pillaging, he would have encountered some empty cities, and then he could have just killed him. I wonder if I can spy on Greece. It'd be interesting to see what he has. Oh, he's the furthest. Jesus. Japan, maybe? Oh, Spain would be nice. Finally, Jesus, a second spy. So here's China. 7 musketmen now. This is pretty strong. 29 samurai and 7 ancient cavalry. Okay, he doesn't... he's got a bunch of spearmen, but aside from that, he doesn't have too many defensive units. He actually stopped expanding, which I don't really like. He could have... Here would be nice. Here. Chop down the marsh and he can build one here. And if he actually builds roads and puts units in this direction, he can build one along here. Yeah, so this is what you don't want to do with your units. Just send them in one at a time. Because remember the whole defeat in detail thing? If you send your units in alone, then you're allowing your enemy to attack your damaged units, and that's a bad thing for you. So if you put them in a stack, then your enemy can't attack them when they're damaged because they have to kill all the other units first. Now, if you send a stack of 10 units and they have 20 knights there to clean up your stack, well, then suddenly the defense in detail thing starts applying again, or defeat in detail. But generally, the more units you have in a stack, the better. Especially with archers because of defensive bombard. It's nice to send like mini stacks of like 5 or 6, and then you can cover a bunch of ground. Because if you only send one big stack, then that's great for defending that stack itself, but then you can't cover as many objectives. So the objectives are the roads, the cities. If they have a weak unit like a single archer, workers, settlers, key tiles like hills or mountains, or tiles between cities. There are a lot of individual tiles that you might need to take for whatever reason. And if all of your units are in one stack, then you can't really fan out as easily to claim those objectives. So what you need to do in that case is you split your stack up into smaller stacks, which you can totally do if you have just like a bunch of, oh, holy shit. He didn't take the city. Wow, he's going for it now. Looks like he's pretty weak. Oh, no, he didn't get it. I wouldn't attack, because he moved a bunch of units in there. The city's on a hill. China's helping out. Good for him. China declared war on the Russians. Yeah, and so many of his units is damaged. So if he does a stack attack, you're just attacking with your 1 health units, right? And they're going to die, and that's not worth it. But if you don't do a stack attack, then you're allowing him to reinforce easily. At least the 2 health ones can retreat. The 1 health ones, they're just giving him promotions. It looks like he made it. Unless, yeah, the Greeks can reinforce if they know how. Jesus, that was close. Wow. If I was Spain, I'd be like, get out the way, get out the way. Yeah, finally he's reinforcing. But the Spanish have these knights here, so I'm sure they're going to be able to do something with it. See what that cost him. He's only down to 20. Yeah, he's still got a fair number of samurai. He only lost about, what did he have, 30 before? So he lost 10 and then ancient cavalry. That's not too bad. Nice. Okay, he's getting these units into position at least. Would have been better if he took the mountain. He could have threatened the city itself, Thessalonica. Maybe the Dutch can get involved too. Okay, you're finally starting to see some knights from Xeon. I'm guessing that's because his teammates finally got him around. Oh no, he finally got around to hooking the horses and the iron. Okay. There's nothing else on the way. Oh, you got a bunch of knights here. So I'm guessing he said he had military tradition, so he can upgrade to cavalry. Okay, can we turn the happiness slider down in this case? Ah. Great. 23 per turn, not bad. Oh, I guess Aqua took over for Xeon. So if there's any strange change of strategy, that might be the reason why. Kind of forgot about that. So let's see what he does with these knights. Is he going to do a double move? Only time will tell. The suspense is killing me. Yeah, he finished the road here. That's good for him. I mean, he has the units in his back city. If he really wants to defend, he can defend. This is why you keep your units in the front line, or cities that might reasonably be attacked. Nope, no attack here. He could have taken Holwart. He didn't. Got a few more knights coming out. Nothing but muskets from the Chinese. He now has 60. He hasn't built one additional rider. That's it's madness. Where does riders end up? I see like a couple scattered here, maybe 5. And then, yeah, he could have done a backdoor attack against Tokyo or something, maybe. Don't think he could hold it, though. Yeah. So the Japanese took a while to come online, but he did come online. So good for him. Definitely congratulate him for that. Can you road to the Russians? Yeah, he should have done that ages ago. He doesn't even have a road on this tile. And he's got the workers around, so he should do it. How did that hoplite end up there? Oh, what do you do with his units? I only see 4 here. That's odd. Did he attack again? That would be insane. Okay, here's the knights. He can move on to this mountain. He had a few good options. He didn't take any. Because look now, there's like, he can just attack you with any longbowman, and that's a favorable trade for the Greeks. At least you'd have the defense bonus if you moved here, and you'd be cutting the iron, taking a worker. He didn't do that. Oh, he could actually see him. He could have moved on to Halbert too, or at least like stayed like somewhere up here, and that way he wouldn't be as much in range of the Greeks. Oh, he must be saving gold until he can afford the upgrades. So one thing you want to do if you're playing Republic is let your cities grow to size 7, so you get the extra unit support. He's done a decent amount of that. He could do a little bit more. He was good at building his cities along... he did have a lot of rivers to choose from, but generally he built his cities on the rivers, and so they can get to the next size. Yeah, so good job from Spain for doing that. Let's see what the Japanese have. Yeah, looks like they lost they attacked again. They lost their stack. That's not a good idea. Yeah, it's the kind of attack you're opening yourself up to when you move onto a low defense tile. Looks like he's okay, but... Yeah, if you just play to defend yourself, you're going to lose. Because they're just going to focus on one of your allies. If everybody on your team plays to defend, then you're just allowing your enemies to 4v1 against whatever ally they choose, and they will win. You have to build defensive units, and you have to help out your team. And defensive units, in most cases, do not help out your team. If you're being focused, then yeah, you want defensive units. In any other case, do not build defensive. Do not highly prioritize them in the same way. I mean, I suspect the Greeks just have a lot of units. Okay, we're starting to see cavalry come out from the Chinese, so that means their team has cavalry, which means the Russians will finally have access to their golden age after all this time. Spain has still not had his golden age, interestingly enough. Oh, they're going for Ephesus. Yeah, nope. That actually works. Kind of super telegraphed, but it works. So there's no walls in Ephesus, so this is not a super favorable trade, but at least the knights are more likely to beat the hoplites than vice versa. And it seemed like he spent a lot of defensive units trying to guard Thessalonica, and he's unwilling to move them to the relevant part of the map. He's still insisting on guarding his backline cities. That's why I don't guard my backline cities unless I think they're under threat. I guess maybe there could be a couple horsemen in this galley or something like that, but yeah. Yeah, so often what you'll see in new player games is it tends to be easier to do defense than it is to do offense. There are definitely key defensive strategies that new players have to learn, but generally, knowing more about the game will favor the player on offense. So often you'll see like kind of a stalemate where both players struggle to take out enemy cities. You'll often see where like players don't really understand that backline cities should be less guarded. I mean, that's the flip side of the coin, right? Because if you guard all your backline cities just as much as your frontline cities, then you're going to assume that other people are doing the same. And so whether or not they are doing that, you will tend to attack the front line because it's like, what's the point of attacking the back line if all the cities are equally guarded and the back line is harder to get to? And I mean, in some cases, some players, like Zardoz, for example, against Zardoz, he guards his backline cities. He guards all of his cities easily or evenly. The easiest way to kill Zardoz is just to attack the front door. Just bring a big stack and just mass numbers, and you can take out his front door. Against most other players, you want to be sneaky and try to go around back, though. Or attack cities that cannot be reinforced to because you've cut the roads or whatever, or they never built the roads to begin with. So as a reminder, currently the Dutch are down 1 and the Greeks are down 1. Everybody else has not lost any cities. Except for the Germans, obviously, RIP. Cannons coming out for China too. Oh, he upgraded to cavalry. Oh, that's good because he has Leos, so it's cheap for him to upgrade. He could do a lot with 17 cavalry against the Russians. Okay. Here's where it all comes to a head. Let's see how this goes. Blocking reinforcements to your allies' city. That's perfect. I don't think they're going to attack this one. This one has walls and it's on a hill, so they'd be kind of dumb to attack that one. But generally, kind of a good idea not to be on the wall, the roads of your ally civ. Okay, so he can easily kill the Greeks if he just attacks Argos or something. I think maybe Corinth. Okay, he's going on to the size 6. He's leaving his city empty. Jesus. Do not retake this. Okay, good. You got to be careful retaking the city, because if you lose that city after retaking it, you're dead. You need to kill the Greeks first, and then you can deal with the Russians. They actually reinforced. They must have a rite of passage. Yeah, attacking 2 at once, that's good. It makes it harder for the defending player to reinforce. Oh, they got Corinth first. And now you can reattack against Ephesus. He's down 1, so this might be a little tricky, but... I mean, it's still 3v2, right? Even if the Russians kill... kill the Spanish, they're still down 1 themselves, and it's only a 2v2. Chinese are lurking too. They got riders around. They must have a bunch of cavalry too. They had like 20 riders that they didn't really do anything with, so they must have about 10 or 15 cavalry. 3 cavalry and 16 riders. We'll see what they do. If they just attack Corinth with everything they have, and then the Russians come too, that might be able to take the city. Cavalry kind of blow the game wide open because they, except in particular situations, they give the offensive player an advantage as opposed to the defending player. Like, you basically need to have walls. Walls or be above size 7 or be on a hill, something like that. Otherwise, the attacking player has the advantage. And one thing you can do is if you're border to border, like let's say, and there's no one border to border anymore. But let's say, they got a cavalry army. That could be quite useful. Nobody has any walls. Okay, let's say there were walls in Vladivostok. He could just road up to Vladivostok, march his cannons in, and then he can force the walls down with his cannons. And at that point, it's like just like a... It doesn't matter how like sneaky or good you are on defense with the Russians. You're just being stat checked. It's like, do you have the bigger stack or do I have the bigger stack? If the Russians have the smaller stack, they die. Because they can't get a defense bonus big enough to properly hold off the city, to make it a favorable trade for them. It's an even trade if you have longbowmen in. If you don't have longbowmen, it's even... I mean, cavalry are pretty expensive, but they're between upgrading and slaving. There are ways to come by a lot of them, which is not necessarily the same for pikemen or longbowmen or whatever. So even though cavalry are 20 shields, whereas longbowmen are 10, it's easier to build 20 cavalry than it is to build 40 longbowmen in a lot of cases. You also pay less unit support on them, so... I'd like to think that like cavalry against pikemen is a favorable trade for the cavalry player, even if... Oh, they're sending units here. They should be trying to retake Corinth. Okay, finally Japan's starting to road towards Russia. That's good. He needs that. Okay, he defends, and he's going to try to retake Ephesus. If China can take the city, because there's like a little window. So when you attack a city with a stack attack, and you successfully take a city, what will happen is 2 of the units from your stack will enter the city, including the victorious unit, and then all of your other units will stay where they were. So there's that little window where there's only 2 units defending the city, and if you get a stack attack off in then it's very difficult for the defending player to reinforce fast enough to hold the city. Of course, they might be able to take the city after you retake it from them, but in this case, the Spanish are already down one, so they would die if they lost a city. But that didn't happen here. He wasn't in position to try to take Ephesus, and now the Spanish have a bunch of knights in Ephesus. Dutch are routing towards these cities. That's good. He should be... I don't know if he has... We can't see the saltpeter, but he should really be building Cossacks. Jesus. The Spanish are... Or, sorry, the Russians are down one. He could literally just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2... Take your pick. Novgorod, Krasnoyarsk, or Vladivostok, maybe. So he could win the game right now if he just didn't attack, but he hasn't done that. Dutch are sending cavalry. Good for them. Yeah, they probably have saltpeter here or on one of these hills. Maybe one of these mountains. They're finally clearing the jungle. This is good improvement down here. They need more workers to get this done faster. Most games of QC don't last this long. They last 40 turns maybe before something decisive has happened. Yeah, China's pushing down. It doesn't matter. Like, Spain would have to be an idiot to take these cities because China's not down one, remember? And Spain is down one. So if they take Leipzig, then Chinese could just retake, and then the game's over. Or not the game's over, but their team's in a lot of trouble. I mean, I think even in that case... You're lucky he saw it. If you took Leipzig, then you would die. But even in that case, like, China would be down one, Russia would be down one, and Japan, the crucial civilization here, would not be down one. Jesus, that's a lot of knights. I guess they don't have enough gold to upgrade. They might want to stop teching and just upgrade, or they should probably be teching astronomy. So they got a lot of good options, and these players do not have a lot of good options. Okay, there's saltpeter here. We can see the colony, but we can't actually see the saltpeter. That's a funny game quirk. Okay, we can probably spy someone. Greece is dead. Yes, okay, we got a third spy. $55. Oh, how did they get a crusader? Oh, they captured the city with the Knights Templar. That's a funny interaction. I haven't seen that before. Because when you take the city with the statue of Zeus in it, it won't produce the crusader unless you have ivory. Or, sorry, the ancient cavalry. So a lot of the time you won't see the stealing interaction. But yeah, he's actually going to have a supply of units up in this captured city, which is going to be very handy for him. Okay, let's see how this goes. He still hasn't roaded here. Oh my god. So the Spanish actually can't get by without consuming the extra movement point to go into the forest. Yeah, Russia's in a lot of danger right now. Spain would probably just... They have to clean up these units first, I guess. But, oh, the Dutch have quite a few cavalry, actually. Huh. If the Dutch clean this up, the Dutch could go for the kill? Lots of good options. Hey, there you go. They're cleaning them up. Yeah, this is 3v2. The longer a 3v2 continues between empires of roughly equal size, the more it flavors the 3-player, because they're going to be producing 3 units for every 2 units the other team produces. So at this point, even trades are good for Team Water. Okay, they're moving their cavalry army up. They could... Yeah, if he does a double move, he can just kill the Russians. Ooh, a bunch of... Yeah, this is good. Congrats, DRC. Yeah. Japan's... Oh, huh. If you did that with a double move, it might have worked, but... Again, you're down one and the Japanese aren't. If you take one off Japan, then Japan still can just retake and you're dead. Yeah, generally you don't want to unload until end of turn, so that they don't realize that you're going to attack until the last possible minute. In fact, you normally don't want to move the galley nearby at all. Like, you just keep your galley up here, and then at the very end of turn, you go 2, 2, 4 on the numpad, which is down, down, left, and then unloads the units. Because otherwise you have to do down, down, and then right-click, click on the unit, move it onto the tile, and then click on the second unit, because stack moves don't work off of boats. And unload that way. So it's simpler to have the move remaining. But if galleys only have 3 moves, so if you were here, you could do 1, 2, 3, and then you're out of moves, so you have to do it the slow way. So there's a trade-off there, where if you want your attack to be sneaky, you want to be 2 tiles away. If you want it to be... there's some cases where, like, if you're 2 tiles away, then maybe the Japanese have their culture expand, and they can see that. So you want to be 3 tiles away, that way they won't be able to see your boats until it's too late for them. But unloading off the boats itself will be quite slow. So yeah, he can just brute force Vladivostok if he wants. He can also go for Krasnoyarsk with his army. 1, 2, 3, 4, because you get +1 move on the army. So 3, that's where the 4 is there, 4 moves. Looks like China's starting to send their riders, but it's too late. There was a moment where they could have, like, capitalized on the chaos when the Greeks were just dying and taken a Spanish city, like the same way that the Russians did against Ephesus. But it's too late now. He's got a bunch of units in. He can reinforce if you try to take down one of the cities. And you invested heavily in muskets, so you can't really do anything about anything. Okay, we'll see how this goes. And the Russians are sending their units here, so they're a bit occupied. A couple over here, too. I wonder what the Japanese are going to do. If he slaves like a samurai, he can't build samurai anymore, though, if he can build cavalry. Yeah. Well, if he slaves a musketman or whatever, he should be mostly fine. Oh, the Great Wall is up. Oh, fuck. Wow, so the Great Wall actually super sucks because it goes obsolete. Yeah. So ranking his wonder decisions, I'd say Statue of Zeus, Pyramids, Leonardo's Workshop, and yeah, he slaved the musketman. Oh, he can kill the Dutch. Dude, kill the Dutch. Kill the Dutch. Come on. Ah. No, it's too late. Empty Dutch city right there. I guess he didn't know. Oh, looks like they finally have Cossacks. Yeah, you don't want to be stuck committing your stack somewhere where there's no roads, because these units are not going to be useful anytime soon. So they're just stuck in this time vortex where they do absolutely nothing. He's brute forcing it, but luckily he's in the position where he has enough units, and the Russians have few enough units that he can brute force it. Like in this position, he'll have to kill every unit that they have in their empire because they know exactly where he is and where he's going to attack, but that's fine. Yeah, he's got a bunch of calves left over. Okay, he's using some to defensive bombard, but he only had 2. You're going to see there's only going to be 2 archers or catapults or longbowmen or whatever here. Of course, Cossacks are shit on defense. There's the one archer. Huh, did he not take the city? That was a very favorable trade for him, but it looks like he didn't take the city. He'll have his pick next turn. But oh yeah, you got the Dutch sending cavalry here. Yeah. Yeah, he just doesn't have enough units. Let's see. So he built 28. Oh, Jesus Christ. If his 28 musketmen were all 28 fucking riders, this game would be over right now. The Chinese or the Spanish would be dead at least. Go kill the Dutch, or at least retake the cities that the Japanese took. But he didn't. He built defensive units, and defensive units, if you're out of position, which he is now because he killed the one person he was bordering, are useless. If you build defensive units and I wouldn't say, and you don't get it. I guess sometimes they like prevent an attack from happening, but generally you want units that are offensive and you want units that are mobile. And cavalry and knights, they're mobile defenders too, as well. Like they're defending city, like they're holding out pretty decent here. Look. Jesus, this is a 3-hour game almost. At least we're getting like a explosive, conclusive ending. Yeah, I can't really blame Japan for not having attacked sooner. Like, I mean, who would have expected that the frickin' Russians would have almost nothing at home? I can't blame him for not roading towards the Russians sooner, though. I can't blame him for not attacking, but I can blame him for not giving himself the option to attack. Oh god, yeah, now you can see Yakutsk. Wow, I feel sorry for Aqua because he's subbing for Xeon right now. Means he died twice in one day in the same game. Unless the Japanese catastrophically fuck this up. Okay, turn timer is going to expire soon, so we'll see how it goes. This is cleaned up. Still no saltpeter for Spanish. I think they're happy where they're at, though. I'm going to check what their finances are like after this game. One thing that's good about Republic is it allows you to deficit spend. So even in cases where like you make the same gold per turn in both Despotism and Republic, and can still be worth it because you can deficit spend more in Republic because you have more income and more expenses. Ooh, almost lost that to defend. Yeah. Oh, he has to be careful. The Chinese can retake, but it doesn't matter. It's 2v1 then still, and the Chinese will lose. Yeah, I'm just gonna call this for people. Discord notifications start coming in. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. It's 3. Victory for Team Water. Yay. Okay, let's do a post-game interview with the winning team. Is my mic on? Oh, fuck. We'll see what their spirits are like.
I'm gonna watch the recap.
Do we have a victory speech now? Sweet.
I'll turn down Windsor a bit.
Because I'm about to have one.
Honestly,
Yes.
though,
Okay, do we have? Honestly, at the start of the game, it was really harsh.
Milan carried us. Pretty well.
Yeah, it's hard being the best player on the team.
I carried all the resources, and I carried like all the units and stuff.
So for the victory speech, I should say next time.
Really, the
be
really
better,
big oof. The really big oof was on Aqua, who just died almost instantly.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really get to do much.
Yeah, but as soon as
because he was surrounded by the Russians and the Chinese. So like, what are you supposed to do then?
no, it's okay. The best thing that's because Nicholas lived throughout that Chinese rush.
Mm-hmm.
That's
but damn, I'm tired.
That's what won us the game. Later on, they all collapsed.
Yeah, the fact that I took out all their units from their cities because I went after Vladivostok with all my units. So they literally got every single one of their units and put it into Vladivostok, which gave you the opportunity to sneak from behind, like flank them.
So yeah, great game overall. Worth it. Hours.